Now, I don't really post that much on this channel anymore, and it's not that I don't have a lot of videos. Like y'all really wouldn't believe the stockpile of videos that I have that I could drop. I just don't really post them that much. But sometimes I come across a game like this one right here, where it's more obvious that there's a narrative, there's an overriding narrative in the game for me to lose the game, right? And everybody experienced that playing 2K, especially if you're playing my career, especially if you're playing my career, and even more so if you're playing on Hall of Fame, where you can it's so obvious, right? Sometimes, usually they're pretty good at um, being a bit sneaky about the dynamic game balancing, where they're scripting the game to go bad for you, or they're trying to make it more challenging for you, but they do it in a way where it's unnatural. They're basically just cheating you, right? So now right here, in certain instances where you may break free on computer and you have a wide open shot at getting the bucket, like my guy right here. And obviously, I'm doing what? I'm pumping the life out the A button to get the computer to pass me the ball. And they usually, almost always, would pass the ball. But in certain games like this right here, where I'm basically scripted to lose, I'm not going to get this ball. They're not going to give it to me, right? He's not going to pass it to me. And they make it look like he's just struggling to pass it. When in reality, he could have dished the ball off. He just didn't want to, right? Or the dynamic game balancing, aka algorithm, that they have baked into the game to try to make these games, fuck you over. Pardon my language, I already know YouTube gonna do what they gonna do, but basically, they're choking out your teammates a lot of times. A lot of times, your teammates, you ever notice your teammates in my career, especially, they play real dumb. They go for layup attempts, they go for shot attempts. They just kind of have you like, wait a minute, what, like, in what world does someone pass up two or three back to back wide open shots and then wait till the defense get on them, even with time on the clock, and then shoot the ball when they're smothered? Like, it's little silly shit like that right there. But I wasn't gonna get the ball right here, right? No matter what the circumstances were, he could have just been standing here butt naked with no defense on him. Guarantee you, he still would not have passed that ball. Now, let's look at this right here. So I have 13, and we're in the third quarter, right? 13, 3, and 15 in the third quarter, right? Let's actually look at what my season average is, just to kind of put things in a proper perspective of how the game has been choking me out, not allowing me or my teammates to properly and accurately set up plays and run plays. I'm averaging, I don't even know why it says 52. The last time I looked, it said 54, but I'm averaging 52 points. Think about how difficult that is to average 52 points on the video game or in real life or any other circumstance, right? But in certain games, I would be choked out until like the third or the fourth quarter. Then you'll notice the dynamic game balancing, or the algorithm, starts to open up for me sometimes, where it's like, wait a minute, I'm not doing anything differently. It's just that now everything is working because the game is dictating and determining what it's going to allow to go down. Not only that, I'm right on a damn near on a borderline of averaging a quadruple double, right, with 20 assists, so in 52 points, right. So when I'm playing this, I'm not fucking around with the computer. I really bust computer's ass, right. And it's just, I'm showing this to show, okay, how do you come from averaging 52 to you being in the third quarter and you're only able to get 13 points, right? And it's basically just a game. Certain games you'll play, like I stated already, and we already know this. Certain games you'll play, it's just that the algorithm has it out for you, or they're trying to clamp down on your ability to do certain things, especially things that you've always done, right? Like look at this right here. Two games back to back with 12 steals. Before that 6, another game 12, 6, 14, 5, and then I have a game right here where I have 2 steals. Right, and I still got 50 points, 6 rebounds, 25 assists, but 2 steals. See what I'm saying? Where did you come from? You know, having 12 and 14 steals, breaking records and steals, so you barely can get one. Right, and it's basically just further proof that you have certain games where you are or are not allowed to play to the best of your ability because the algorithm is intervening. It's not really allowing a thorough, fleshed out, what's the word I'm looking for? Can't think of it right now. But basically, like a meritocracy, right? Where whatever happens is just totally based upon your ability to play well. 2K is not like that oftentimes. Really probably most of the time. It's not really like that. There's an element of how well you can play, then there's an element of how well your opponent is, but then there's a larger element of the algorithm controlling and dictating the flow of the game. Right? And that's not realistic. You should, if you're battling it out, it should just be may the best man win, not okay, we want this to happen. We want you to get a steal right here, or we don't want you to get a steal over here, or we want you to get a turnover right here. We don't want you to make this layup. We don't want you to get that rebound. And it's all narrative driven. It's narrative based, right? And that's garbage because you're not allowed to really have a genuine competitive back and forth with someone. Even when you're playing against another person, there's an element of the algorithm intervening, but it's there, but it's not there to the degree that when you're playing the computer, because the computer has to only rely on the dynamic game balancing and the algorithm. When you're playing another person, it's still there, but it's another person behind the joystick. So wherever the game would be trying to take over for them, they could still fuck it up for themselves. The computer cannot fuck it up for themselves. For the most part, they won't, at least. Now, sometimes they do, but for the most part, they're going to go along with exactly what the algorithm is saying to happen. This is why sometimes computer, you'll notice, they'll have a lot of time left on the clock and they'll just throw up some bullshit. And then it'll go in. It's like, wait a minute. It's because they threw it up. It's because it was an automatic bucket. Computer already understood that was an automatic bucket, right? So they just threw up anything, and how you scratching your head, like, how did that go in? Why did they throw a shot up that early? It is because it wasn't nothing that you were going to be able to do about it. They were going to make it regardless, right? But that'll do it for this video. I kind of went on a bit longer than what I usually would, but it's all good, man. Peace.